Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Toni Tessler with ToniStamps. That's me. I just wanted to redo or finish off a card from Thursday. So this past Thursday on June 24th, which I will try to figure out how to link that so it'll play next after this one, or maybe I'll put it in the comments or something. But I wanted to redo it because I really wanted to show you how the gilded leafing works, getting it on here. And I found a seahorse that I had cut out of this same brushed gold that I forgot I wanted to add that on there. So totally I need to redo this. And then I want to show you another technique, redo of the technique. So when I was making, actually let me go back to here. When I was making this one, I tried to I ink blended this and then I tried to spray with alcohol and do the blowing thing on it because with the pearl paper, but then I forgot, nope, that only works with blending, Stampin Blends, the alcohol markers. So I'm going to do a version of that next with some of the blue papers, this same print from the Sand and Sea paper. So we'll do that next. But first, let's do the gilded leafing. And what you need a scratch paper to catch all this leafing stuff. This flies around like crazy. But so just careful, keep it in a container. It comes in a pretty big jar, but once you open it, it seems like you'll never get it back out of there. So let me figure out, this piece is stuck. So with gilded leafing, you need something sticky. So when I was doing the video the other day, I had taken a glue, a sponge dauber, and spread out some glue on my silicone mat. And I was using this glue, the green glue. And I just took a sponge dauber and boop, 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 put around, different places on my pearl piece. So this was pearlescent paper, and I ink blended Melon Mambo, Flirty Flamingo, and So Saffron on it. Okay, so then I went back with the glue. Now this should be glued or dried sufficiently that we can put our leafing on. So you just take chunks of this stuff and put it around on the parts that you have glued. All right, and it comes, whoa, see how like any little movement, I think the air conditioning just clicked on. Any little movement is going to want to make it fly. So just try to be careful. Keep it contained. So I want to stick it down and then we will burnish it, all the extra bits off. And it should be left sticking to wherever I put glue. And I'm going to smash it down with my fingers as much as I can and then go back with a sponge. I keep this one sponge with the leafing stuff, and you will see in a minute. So see how we get all these little crumbs? I want to use those. All right, I'm trying to feel around. Yep, here's a sticky bit over there. So I want to put some more. Trying to feel where I had that glue. There's some over there. Let me get some. The static is really crazy. Okay. And I hope this is filming because I don't see any numbers going. We'll find out. All right, oop, and some right in the middle there. A little bit left here. Man, I really put more glue on this than I expected, or than I remembered. All right, let's put that there. Hopefully that will cover it all up. And then I'm just going to give it a quick, all right, there's some down here. So I'm going to try to rub some off with my finger and then drag it down here. All right, I think that is about covered how I want it. So then we just take a sponge and I'm trying to keep all this bits like on my paper here. So now I'm just going to rub it and press a little bit and go in a circle. And see, now I get these crumbs. I'm gonna wanna save those. All right, this, I must have really had a lot of glue over here on this seashell. I don't remember putting that much on. But so now we're just burnishing just to get all the extra bits off so that the gilded leafing only sticks to where we had our glue. And actually, I don't mind if some of this extra stays on the paper because I like it for this project anyway. A lot of gold is not going to hurt my feelings. Okay, I am happy with that. So I just get like as much of this out of my sponge as I can, and then you carefully shake all this back into your container. All right, now this little crumbs, I'm not too worried about that. I'm just gonna put this, like, dump it right in the trash, get all this little bits that I can, and then put my lid back on. And you don't want to like burp your, if you've got Tupperware or something, you don't want to do the burp because it will fly out. All right, so now it inevitably flies around everywhere. So I'm actually going to take my chamois, and I don't know if I should be doing this with a chamois, but that's what I'm using. Just something a little wet to grab it all up. Okay. But so we're left with this. I love it. Get rid of that paper. Okay. So now let's go ahead and I'm just going to redo, you know, the same design and style. I was using the Friends Are Like Seashells. This time I embossed this Love You to the Beach and Back. And I did it twice. So I ripped it on the sides, and then on this one I ripped it along the top. Because I don't know how it's going to land. Because remember, I want to bring in this seahorse that I forgot about. So I've got, same thing, vanilla, very vanilla thick. This is a 5x7 card. So you cut it 10x7 and score it in half. And then I took this brushed gold, or it's gold and rose gold in a pack. Now on Thursday, I went in with my cutter and I cut a rectangle out, but this time I used some dies. So I used the stitched rectangle dies, and now I'm just going to glue this on. Now this is the same Sand and Sea paper that has these melon mambo and so saffron veins through it. I love it. So I'm going to go with some liquid glue. Just because I think that's going to hold better on this metallic paper, and try to get this straight-ish. Oops. All right, it's always tricky trying to see it from afar. I think that looks good, and there is some wiggle room time on the metallic paper because, you know, it's not porous. All right, so I'm just going to hold that there for a minute. And then I'm just going to glue it directly onto my card front. Oops. And I'm going to keep everything, so like I dragged out the same ribbons, so I'll use that. Just try to get this in the center. Oops. That's moving around a little bit. I think that's straight enough. All right, I'm just gonna hold this down and press, and I feel some glue squirting out. That is just operator error. But I'm gonna take this little glue gob getter and and get that extra bits off. Okay, so our card is coming together. Now I want dimensionals. So last time I was using some of the adhesive sheets and I thought it would go a lot quicker. And these will be fine, just dimensionals. Actually, I'm going to cut some of these side bits off and use these. Use whatever you have. I just want this popped up. Man, even the back of this pearl paper looks really cool. And this was, remember, this was the ink blending, not the Stampin Blends, the alcohol markers. Which I gotta tell you, I mean, I just love the alcohol markers. Let's see, will that fit? Oh, I'm gonna cut that in half. I love the alcohol markers with the Pearlescent paper. It's just so pretty. All right, let me peel these up. I like that I got a lot more of the gilded leafing on this one. I kind of wish they had it in silver too. I'm sure there's something out there, maybe some other brand that I could get that has silver. But what I'm going to show you for the next one is, if you don't have the gilded leafing, I'm going to use embossing powder and get kind of a similar look. Okay, almost. And let's get those thrown away. All right, so I can still see I didn't get all my extra leafing bits off because it's coming apart, or it's flying off, but that's okay. All right, so I'm gonna set that right there. And those dimensionals just pop it up a little bit, but that's all I want. I love it. So see here, I just had it, you know, like around the edges, up here. Both are fine. I think I just like this. I like the more of the gold. All right, now, before I forget, so I want my gold brushed seahorse. And then I was going to, I don't know how I want to arrange this. I either want the rips on the sides, yeah, or the top. Okay, I'm gonna go with this one. So this I'm just gonna glue on. And actually maybe I'll turn this one a little bit at a jaunty angle. Now this, the seahorse, so this is from the Seascape dies, and I've already die cut it and put mini dimensionals on the back. So let's just peel these up. This paper is very cool. It looks sparkly, but it doesn't feel rough. It's got a smooth look, or a smooth feel to it. All right, so I'm going to put him right here. I love all that gold. So I'm liking them both. I like all the pinks coming through here, but I like the more gold of this one. All right, now I'm going to do similar ribbon. So I use this vanilla baker's twine that I had and the scalloped lace trim. So I don't know if I want as much of a swoop because I've got this guy here. But I do want a little one. So maybe I'll just do the same thing but smaller. All right, so I just loop this over, one loop. Let me move this. I'll put it right in the middle. And then I took some vanilla baker's twine and I'm just gonna tie a knot or tie a bow like right up here near the top. So I like to just even this out. Trying to do this with one hand. Oop. Okay. So I'm going to tie it once like I'm tying my shoes. There we go. And then I'll give it another tie, like to make a knot. And then I like to flip everything upside down when I'm tying bows. Just because, I don't know, the way I tie it, then I have better luck with them laying down, you know, the strings. So, okay, I like this. And that's just to add a little bit of interest. And I think I'm going to stick it kind of in the same spot. It doesn't bother me that it covers up the words a little bit, because it's, you know, it's lace, you can see through it. They can move it out of the way, and I like that it still has some movement. So I'm just going to put that right there. I love it. All right, and then I'm going to finish with the same metallic pearls. You get silver and gold in the same pack. And this is, I had combined a couple of packs. All right, so let's add, I think I put 7 on here, so let's kind of do the same thing. I want 2 down here. No, wait, I put 5. Okay, good enough. Let's just put them in the spots that, oh, sticking, crikeys. All right, there we go. And then 1 up there. Ooh, 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 I love them. Okay. So yeah, disappointed that I forgot my seahorse the other day, but I like this different version. All right. So seahorse with seahorse, without seahorse. I like them both. And then I use a different embossing powder, which I'm going to show you with the next one. Okay, so I'm going to take a picture of both of these and put on my blog so that you can see the difference, which I still have to do the blog post for my Thursday video. I still have to get that up. All right, but now I wanted to show you, I'm going to make the same card, but I'm going to do whites and blues this time. And again with the Pearlescent paper. This time I chose this pattern, still from the Sand and Sea pack that I believe that is only available, yeah, until Tuesday. That's the 30th, right? Or Wednesday. This time I cut the seahorses out of, this is some old glimmer paper because it was more silvery looking. And then I also cut a frame, and again I used my cutter and cut the inside out. So I saved this bit for something else. Now this is like thicker. That's why I ended up, the seahorse is cut backwards. Let me show you this one. And that is because when I cut the glimmer paper, I wanted to cut on this side first. So I put the die down and then it makes the image backwards. I just read something where cutting through the thicker glitter paper can dull your dies and, you know, punches and stuff. And I usually don't pay that much attention to that, but I thought, why mess it up? I just got it. And I don't mind if it's backwards. Who knows? Nobody. Okay. So I'm going to have the same design. Let me glue this on. And I'm just going to go around the edges. Oops. All right. Yeah, I was looking in my current stash, and I don't remember how long this paper, how long ago this was in stock. I mean, like in the catalog. I have no idea. I don't throw away stuff like this or get rid of it, because you never know when you will need some sparkly goodness. All right, this is really squishing out, but that's okay. All right, I'm gonna let that dry for a minute. So Here you can see how we're building silver and the blue. Now I do want to show the pearl paper. I need this paper again. I know this is going to be hard to see. Well, shouldn't be too hard. This is kind of ivory color. But I have been playing with pearl paper, the pearlescent paper, and the blends, and then you spray alcohol on it, and you get this cool, like the alcohol ink effect, but then it's got the sparkly, shimmery pearl part coming through. This was basic black, light and dark markers. This was Pale Papaya and Magenta Madness, or Polished Pink, I can't remember. But you definitely want to use darker colors for these. And oops, I had picked 4 colors, and I'm not going to do this other one. This first one was Balmy Blue, and it ended up being too light. But I've got Misty Moonlight, Dark Misty Moonlight, which I know, yeah, we still have that. Dark Seaside Spray, which we no longer have, but you would have to pick something else. Dark Misty Moonlight and Dark Night of Navy. So dark, dark, dark colors. So I'm going to start out with the lightest one. Now I've already, you know, obviously cut this with the dies, and then I embossed it, so we get the raised bits. So I'm going to take the fat end, and I'm just coloring this in randomly. So I just want some of every color, like all over the place. And since this is embossed, sometimes I have to go down into these nooks and crannies and really get down in there. And every time you do this, it's going to turn out a little different, but that is cool. All right, so now I'm going in with the Dark Misty Moonlight, and you can see it really is a lot darker. That's cool. And don't worry about, you know, this looks a mess. I realize that. Probably thinking, what in the world? Some more here, and then I'm going to finish with Dark Night of Navy. And my marker, my Dark Night of Navy, this, I noticed it was starting to, I think I use this maybe a lot, starting to get dry. So hopefully it's going to last. So now I'm just touching around, getting all of the bits that are left over. Okay, this looks kind of crazy. I get it, but it's going to be fine. All right, now you need a paper plate or something. Actually, I'm going to use this one that I had already used. So I just got some my Evening Evergreen and Fresh Freesia blends, and so I tried the same technique on some scraps of this pearl paper. I like those colors together. All right, so we need something to catch our drips. You need alcohol in a spray bottle, and you need a blowy tool, something to blow it around. And I need to shut my glue. So what I'm going to do, and I showed this technique I think a week or so ago. I'll try to find that video as well. But we're going to spray, spray, spray with alcohol. And we can already see some of the colors moving. And then we're going to blow it around. And I have better luck moving my paper plate. So what it is all the alcohol is going to make the paper curl, and then the color wants to run off of it. So I'm trying to blow the color back up onto the pieces. All right, and dry, dry, dry. And then if you find spots that you want maybe some more movement, you just spray it again. But yeah, this pearl really, it looks so cool. And you can see the pearlized bits like moving around. Now you want to use the dark markers for this because if you can tell, the color, the alcohol, it just lightens it up like a lot. So when you use the light markers, like it bleeds right out. You lose all the color. So you want dark, 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 dark. Okay. Let me pick this up and get this out of the way because that's kind of distracting. But I love it. Look at that, pearly, and it's moved around. So you have to put this off to the side, let that dry. And by the magic of TV, I already did one. And see how I got different, you get a different result every time. Depends where you put the marker. But now, let me bring this back. Instead of gold leafing, I am going to add embossing. So I like this sparkly Sterling Sparkle embossing powder, and that's from Brutus Monroe. Stampin' Up! Just doesn't have anything similar. It's got silver powder, but not silver sparkly. So let me get my alcohol out of the way. So embossing. I'm going to hit this with the embossing buddy. Embossing powder is similar to the gilded leafing in that you just need something that will stick so that the embossing powder would stick to it. So normally you'll see we'll stamp in Versamark ink, which is what I did with the words. Stamp in Versamark ink and then you add your powder and cook it. But you can also use glue. You can use a two-way glue pen. So I am still hitting with the embossing buddy because I don't want it to go everywhere really. Although it should be contained since I'm using a glue pen. So now I'm just going to add my glue. I'm setting up my sample because I kind of want to put the glue in the same spots. All right, so I want to put here. All right, make sure this is going. Whoops. Now this, it looks like it's maybe moving some of my color, and it shouldn't really be because this was done with alcohol inks. And I'm just going to scribble down here some, and then over here. This part. So I'm using the chisel tip of this, and I'm just trying to get some of the raised bits, some of the embossed parts. But really, we'll get what we get. All right. Let's see if I can paint these in. Whoa, too much. And then I want to come down here some and here. All right, we will see how this goes. All right, so put this over top of my embossing powder catcher, and we're just gonna cover it completely. And see what we get. And I'm trying to be careful because I don't really want embossing powder everywhere. Ooh, I like that. Okay. I'm just going to leave it just like that and then try to corral this back in to my container. I think this sparkle is really gonna pop, and it's gonna look nicely with the glimmer paper behind the designer paper layer. All right, so this I can tell is a mess. I'm gonna have to wipe that up later. But let's bring in the heat tool now and watch the embossing magic. All right, very cool. I love it. Now you may have noticed since I had, oops, so much glue over here, it kind of like bubbled up because it's really, the heat tool was heating up the glue as well as the embossing powder. That's okay. No worries. Now look at the back. You can see how some of the, that Stampin Blends, the alcohol markers come through. Very cool. All right, let me bring this paper back in just to cover my surface. All right, so we've got our background, our glitter paper or glimmer paper, and our sand and sea paper. So I'm just going to glue this on. I thought it would be very cool with the silver embossing, and I am very happy with that so far. All right, let's put this down. Man, my hands are a mess. Okay, that looks straight enough. Straight-ish. We've got our seahorse, and I have to find the greetings. Oh, okay. So I had embossed two greetings. I did the love you to the beach and back, and friends are like seashells, you collect them along the way. And I use that same sterling sparkle pattern. I think I'm going to use this one, but we shall see. Let me get this out of here. Now I'm going to put dimensionals all along the back of this as well, just like I did on the pink one. I know I've said this last week, but I really think this pearlescent paper is one of the sleeper products. Like, no one realized how cool it was going to be until recently. I love it. And it's not bad. It's $4. You get two 12 by 12 pieces. Let's put a piece right down there. And see some of these little side bits. And one more. Okay, I think that should do it. Okay, I sped that up so that you didn't have to suffer completely while I was doing all that cutting or pulling off the backs. I love it, love it. I love that. This time I think I'm going to put the seahorse on this side. And I am going to go with the friends are like seashells. But I can tell I embossed this a little crooked, so I'm just going to straighten this up by hand. And then again, I'm going to rip it. And I'm ripping towards me because I want that rip side on the top. Let me rip this. Oops, might have gone a little too far. All right, good enough. That still looks a little crooked. All right, better. Get all this out of the way. Yes, I like it. All right, so I'm going to glue this on. And I'm just going to put this right here. I know that's covering up some of the good embossed bits that I put on there, but that's just the way it goes. Okay, I'm going to hold that there for a minute. And I already put my dimensionals on here. Ooh, I like that. All right, now for ribbon this time, I still want to use just all white, but I had some of this Misty Moonlight also. I think that's too dark for what I want though. So I'm going to use white crinkled seam binding. And then I have some of this, it's white baker's twine with silver in it. And I really don't remember what project I had it from, but there's just enough left. And I think I want to do the same kind of thing. This time I might double up this crinkled bit. So I'm still going to fold it in half. And, actually I do think I want it over here. All right, doubled it up. And I'm going to just take a little bit of this baker's twine and same thing. I'm going to tie it in a knot, and actually I'm going to drag this up, like right there. So I'll tie it once and then tie it twice. And then I want to pull that down some. All right, now flip it upside down so I can tie my bow. Sometimes using this baker's twine with the like the metallic stuff through it, sometimes it doesn't want to land right, like it wants to get all twisted. So I'm just going to play with this a little bit. All right, that is good enough. I feel like this might be a little too fussy, and I don't really want this on this side. But over here, all right, again, glue dots. Decision finally made. I'm going to put it over here, but I am going to trim it some, like trimming the bangs. All right. I like it. All right, and I still want to finish with some silver metallic pearls. Them here. And if you had opal rounds, that would work well. I just wanted to tie in the silver, like all the silver, even though these aren't sparkly, they're still silver. All right, and then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so I need another one. Put that right there, 7. So we have an odd number. All right, so get rid of this. So here is our blue version, and again with this technique with the Stampin Blends on the pearlescent paper, and then you spray the alcohol. So let's bring back both of our new and improved with Seahorse cutouts. So I will get these up on my blog as well. That's ToniStamps.blogspot.com. And thanks for joining me. Bye.